Good evening. You're now with me, Handy Gui for TVS Nightline. On to the headline news stories. Sarawak's growing reputation for supplying renewable and green energy has emerged as a key factor in attracting investment into its semiconductor industry. Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan emphasizes that the availability of clean energy not only sustains the industry's growth but also enhances the value to the product.
Kita di Sarawak ini membekalkan tenaga hijau. Ini akan memberi high value added untuk produk-produk industri itu. Sebab ianya diberi sijil seperti yang beroperasi di Samalaju. Ya. Sijil hijau, green certification. Dan ianya di recognized by internationally. Jadi, that will add value to their product and services.
Denga, who is also the Minister of International Trade, Industry and Investment, says Sarawak has an upper hand geographically as it is located near various big marketable areas, including the ASEAN bloc, China, India and Australia, accessible by sea and air. With the full support from the federal government, Sarawak will be able to facilitate the development of the semiconductor industry for the global market.
Sarawak-owned airline AIRBORNEO is planning to expand its flight network to Sabah and Kuala Lumpur as part of its medium-term growth strategy following the strengthening of its intra-Sarawak operations. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Dato' Sri Abdul Karim Hamzah says the expansion is being rolled out in phases under AIRBORNEO's business plan through 2030, with initial focus on consolidating domestic routes.
Explained that Sabah has been identified as the first out-of-Sarawak destination ahead of future expansion to Kuala Lumpur and other parts of Peninsular Malaysia, subject to operational readiness and the acquisition of larger aircraft.
But the moment you want to go out of Sarawak, to go to Kuala Lumpur or other destination in Kuala Lumpur, you need a bigger plane. And those bigger planes will come in later. Itu dah dalam perancangan.
The airline currently operates 8 ATR and 6 Twin Otter aircraft, sufficient for rural and short-haul services, but not for longer routes. Subject to operational readiness, AIRBORNEO could begin expanding to regional Southeast Asian destinations such as Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore and the Philippines from 2027, before considering wider expansion in later phases. The airline is being positioned as a strategic infrastructure for Sarawak, similar to government-backed airlines in other regions, such as Qatar Airways, with returns measured through broader economic and tourism impact rather than solely on profitability.
Now, the National Registration Department, JPN, is set to restructure the MyCard issuance process by June 2026, enhancing 53 security features. Minister of Women, Early Childhood and Community Wellbeing, Dato' Sri Fatimah Abdullah, states that in the near future, MyCard authenticity will be verifiable through a digital security system using QR codes and stronger encryption.
Struktur baharu akan dilancarkan mulai Jun 2026 ya statementnya daripada Sidak Belah Nun dengan 53 ciri-ciri keselamatan. Kad pengenalan tersebut akan dilengkapi dengan pengesahan kod QR yang membolehkan pihak berkuasa mengesahkan ketulinan kad pengenalan dengan kadar serta-merta melalui pemeriksaan digital yang selamat. So that means in terms of security and safety, it is enhanced. Kad tersebut juga turut dilengkapi dengan chip yang lebih canggih dengan tahap penyulitan iaitu encryption yang lebih tinggi serta mengandungi teknologi anti pemalsuan seperti turihan laser dan diperbuat daripada bahan polikarbonat yang lebih tahan.
The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Ibrahim says that state rights must always be respected, in line with the spirit of the MA63, which forms the basis of the formation of Malaysia involving Malaya, Sabah and Sarawak. His Majesty stresses that the collective interests of Malaysia must always be prioritised in every consideration and decision made.
Itu sewajarnya kembali kepada niat asal pembentukan Malaysia, iaitu perpaduan dan menghormati serta kerjasama erat antara negeri-negeri dan kerajaan persekutuan.
His Majesty also reminds that every debate, decision and vote in the Parliament reflects not only political party stances, but also the nation's future. As such, he urges all Member of Parliaments to exercise caution in their debates and actions to avoid inciting tensions that could harm national unity.
On to global updates. Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi has called a snapped election for February 8, following today's announcement that the House of Representatives will be dissolved on January 23rd. The election seeks voter approval for increased public spending, tax cuts, and a new security strategy aimed at strengthening Japan's defenses. Takaichi has also staked her leadership on the vote, asking the public to directly judge whether she should be entrusted with governing Japan.
今、衆議院でも参議院でも過半数の議席を持たない自民党の総裁が内閣総理大臣を務めている。また、前回の衆議院選挙では自民党・公明党の連立政権を前提に国民の皆様の審判を仰ぎました。今や連立政権の枠組みも変わりました。だからこそ政治の側の都合ではなく国民の皆様の意思に
She also promises a 2-year halt to an 8% consumption tax on food and says her spending plans would create jobs, boost household spending, and increase other tax revenues. The prospect of consumption tax cut, which would reduce government revenue by 5 trillion yen a year, according to government estimates, sent the yield on Japan's 10-year government bonds to a 27-year high earlier on Monday. The snap vote will decide all 465 seats in Parliament's lower house and mark Takaichi's first electoral test since becoming Japan's first female premier in October.
Meanwhile, twin pandas at a zoo in Tokyo will depart for China on January 27th, marking the first time in about half a century that Japan will be without any pandas, long viewed as a symbol of Japan-Sino friendship. According to Kyodo News, Xiao Xiao and his sister Lei Lei will be transported to Narita Airport near Tokyo to fly to China. This follows recent developments of souring relationship between the two countries and may be the last time such an exchange would be happening. Prospects for another panda loan remain uncertain amid deteriorating Japan-China relations following recent remarks by Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi on Taiwan. Both pandas are scheduled to arrive on January 28 at a facility in China, which currently houses their elder sister Xiang Xiang. Germany is determined to respond to further U.S. tariffs with effective countermeasures. German government spokesperson Stefan Cornelius warns U.S. President Donald Trump's tariff threats are unacceptable and risk escalating the trade conflict.
Wir sind jedenfalls entschlossen, auf wirksame Gegenmaßnahmen inklusive Gegenzölle mit Gegenzöllen zu reagieren. Wir werden auch weitere wirtschaftspolitische Maßnahmen vorbereiten, wenn das nötig ist. Und wenn es nötig ist, auch schon ab Februar. Dafür gibt es dann unter den Mitgliedstaaten der Europäischen Union eine große Einigkeit.
Now back to state news. Sarawak has officially reduced the age threshold for citizenship applications under Article 15(a) of the Federal Constitution from 21 to 18, adopting the national definition of an adult. This alignment, Fatima says, standardizes the process and streamlines pathway for fast-tracking complex cases, including those involving individuals born to non-citizen mothers and adoptions without proper legal registration.
Disebabkan pertukaran nanti, saya merasakan punca yang lebih besar ialah iaitu apabila pasangan, terutama yang pasangan wanitanya adalah daripada bukan daripada Malaysia, itu akan menjadi masalah. And when kita selalu beritahu, kalau nak kahwin dengan pasangan yang bukan warga negara, pastikan perkahwinan itu buat dengan teratur. Bolehlah kita lihat daftar dulu perkahwinan atau berkahwin di luar negara, kemudian bila balik daftar lagi, mesti daftar. Dan kalau misalnya perkahwinan tadi tidak teratur, teraturkan semula.
Additionally, she highlighted parallel issues arising from adoptions that are not legally registered, creating major documentation gaps that complicate citizenship claims. In response, Fatima also emphasized the formation of a dedicated special committee, the SARAWAK Special Committee on Citizenship Status, JKKSK, to expedite these specific and complex cases.
A boarding school teacher was charged in the Sessions Court on January 19 on 2 counts of sexually assaulting a male student last year. The 37-year-old pleaded not guilty before Judge Noor Hisham Muhammad Jaafar to the charges framed under Section 14(a) of the Sexual Offences Against Children Act 2017, read together with Section 16 of the same Act.
According to both charges, he was charged with physically sexually assaulting a 15-year-old male student by touching his genitals on 2 separate occasions. He's alleged to have committed the offence in a warden's room at the boarding school in Kuching between October and December 10 last year. During case mention, Deputy Public Prosecutor Chua Kai Sheng did not offer any bail as it was not a bailable offence. However, the prosecution took into account that the accused was still a civil servant performing his duties and offered a cash bail of 20,000 ringgit with 2 local sureties and to report to the nearest police station every month. The accused, represented by counsel Simon Seah, requested that bail be granted as his client is currently working temporarily at the education office, which requires him to go to work every day. The court then allowed the accused to be released on bail of 10,000 ringgit without deposit with 2 local sureties and to report to the nearest police station every month. Noor Hisham has fixed February 16 for case management.
Now wrapping up the Nightline with some update on the upcoming SABAH elections for Kinabatangan and Lamak constituencies. As of today, police have issued a total of 128 permits for political talks and campaign activities. Kinabatangan District Police Chief Superintendent Ravi Durasamy states that the permit were issued to the candidates from the Barisan Nasional BN, Parti Warisan, and an independent candidate, following the death of the incumbent Dato Sri Bung Mokhtar Radin, 66. Ravi said police had so far received 1 complaint during the campaign period, which has been referred to the Public Prosecutor's Office and the Election Commission EC. Meanwhile, he said a total of 927 personnel from nearby district police headquarters and the Sabah Police Contingent headquarters will be deployed to help ensure the smooth conduct of the polling process for both by-elections this Saturday, with early voting set for tomorrow. The Kinabatangan parliamentary by-election would see a 3-cornered contest between Muhammad Kurniawan Naim Mokhtar of BN, Dato Sadi Abdul Rahman of Warisan, and Goldam Hamid of Independent, while the Lamak state seat will feature a straight fight between Muhammad Ismail Ayub, BN, and Mazliwati Abdul Malik from Warisan. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Handy Gui. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.